How we doing, everyone? MJS back again with another video here, another installment of the Our First Home series. Today is Tuesday, May 31st. It was a long weekend, Memorial Day weekend. We have a lot to chat about. We did a lot of things over the past few days. I think the last thing I filmed was actually my chair coming, so let's just start there, kind of like where we're at with all that. It's a chair. It's fantastic. I didn't review it too much probably like that day. It was probably kind of a shitty review. But just as a quick continuation of that, I've sat in it a few times. I know how to use it a little bit better. It's solid. I would highly recommend it if you can get it for even cheaper than it is. That's definitely a great deal. I don't regret the purchase at all. It's way better than what I was sitting on with Amanda's for like, I don't know, a few months. And now we have two little setups here where we can kind of work and, just be productive and stuff like that. So super happy with it, super happy with the way the setup looks in general right now. And I think we're pretty good on it. I don't really see anything else that we really kind of need to add there. The office is looking great. So I'm super happy about all that. One other thing that I did in between then and now that Instagram saw, but I didn't film as I did it, but now I'll show you, which you should be following me on Instagram though, so make sure you do that. But anyway, over here in the closet in the office is kind of like where I keep my clothes, because Amanda has a whole closet over there in the other room, in the bedroom to herself, is I added this rod up here. So this is like just a rod. I'll have links obviously in the description for everything here, but this is just like a simple rod off Amazon that kind of like expands to whatever size you need, and then it just screws in with a couple screws and everything like that, obviously on the edges there where the wood is. So we had an issue in here, like obviously we didn't have that for a while, and I don't really have that many clothes that I hang up, but I needed to hang some up, and I needed to get that done. So I finally got that done, and then we were over at my parents' house for a soiree, just a dinner yesterday, and then I brought all the old clothes from my old closet over there, and now we're good here. So this is solid. Super happy about this. Quick note, because we're going to be talking about this, like the majority, like the project today is kind of like somewhat related to this. I bought this rod right here for the actual coat closet in the front, which we can just go and check because, it's in this house. So if we walk, beautiful living room. So nice. Big TV. Okay, over here. So this is our coat closet at the front of the house. And right now it just kind of holds, the cleaning supplies and a couple odds and ends things up there that I need to deal with at some point. But the point here is we wanted to have a coat closet. We have this space for it. We should probably utilize it. So my first thought was to get that rod, and I originally purchased that rod for this closet. But then I was thinking, I don't know if this is normal, but I've never like hung up a coat on a hanger. I feel like when you wear a coat, like you want to come inside, like you just want to pop it on like a hook rather than a hanger. So I was thinking, and I was like, maybe I just use a rod in there and just think of something else in here. So what I got off Amazon were these little hooks right here, and all they are, they're just little, again, like hooks that you just kind of screw onto the wall or whatever, right? So if we take a look, it's literally just like a 2-hook hanger right there, and then we'll take them over here just as an example, but this is what I'm going to be doing, so I'll show you the process, and just something like that. Now I have 8 of these, so I'm thinking 4 on the back, and then 1, 2, 1, 2. Hopefully that all works. Hopefully it spaces out nice and everything like that. It's not really a huge space. I think it's only maybe 3 feet wide or something like that, but it should be pretty good, because I'd much rather hang a coat on this rather than actually hang it up on a hanger and everything. So that's my thought. I don't know how it's gonna go. Hopefully it goes well. I did, the reason that I actually bought this though was because I was skeptical about that idea, that like setup, because I don't really know if I've ever seen that before necessarily. But then I went and I found that product on Amazon, and somebody literally put a picture of them doing that. And I was like, okay, well if somebody else did that, then I'm gonna use these for the exact same thing. So ultimately, that's probably going to be what we'll have. We'll have coat hooks on the top there, and then probably still the cleaning supplies, maybe a better way to organize that and everything like that. But that'll help, because that'll take some more things out of my closet that we just showed you, and some stuff out of the downstairs laundry area that Amanda has, like her coats and stuff, which we should go talk about now, because me and Amanda did some work down there yesterday, and it's really coming along. So let's go check out the basement. Okay, back in the dungeon looking basement thing, but not for long. We put some work in here. Let's talk about it. So This room specifically, this, you know, the living area, which it once was, now going to be gym at some point. Haven't really done too much stuff. There's some things scattered around that we need to kind of address and talk about, but kind of just like making, you know, organized piles of things and stuff like that. So over here we have stuff that we're going to sell, or, you know, we normally make 3 piles, like keep it, sell it, / donate it or whatever, throw it away. We got some things that we want to sell. We got some things that we need to like give away and stuff like that or whatever. Some things that we need to address. Obviously, we want to put the screens back in, the windows perhaps, some cord around that we need to do. Just kind of like, you know, the auxiliary area here right now. Over here in the laundry room is what we really took care of. Biggest thing, obviously, there was a big piece of furniture here, like kind of like an under sink cabinet type thing. That is now currently listed on Facebook Marketplace and is chilling right there. So hopefully there's a buyer for that, or I'm gonna have to try to figure a way to throw it out. But that would be great if somebody wants to just purchase that for a couple bucks, because that would be nice, and come get it. That would be fantastic. Biggest thing in here is, again, we have a big laundry room here. Don't really know the exact dimensions right now offhand, but it's big. We have, you know, our main stuff on the left-hand side there. But we need to do something different about this side, because we took that out of there because it wasn't really conducive to what we're trying to do here as far as like storage and, you know, like just optimization of all this. What we're thinking about doing is getting some shelving here. And I'm not sure, I might have talked about this, either talked about this on Instagram, maybe it's on here, I don't know. But regardless, I'm saying it again if I haven't already, because it's kind of evolved a little bit. But that'll probably be gone. This is like, you know, the stuff like toilet paper, paper towels, cleaning supplies, all that sort of stuff. There will be like a shelf here, like some sort of, you know, like metal shelving or something like that, that we could put all that stuff on, and it'll just be a lot cleaner, a lot neater, all like in one place. You can kind of see it, all that sort of stuff. Not sure what we'll do over there. It might be the same type of concept instead of that wooden thing, because when we get into the podcast studio there's a lot of things that I still need to take care of myself, specifically like all my like hockey gear and things like that, like the clothes and stuff that I wear for that. So again, like those things would be on the shelf. We got the little drying rack thing over there. And that's kind of it. I mean, the other big thing and what I was talking about upstairs is that these are Amanda's coats here that need to go in that front hall closet. So those will be gone. And then I think what we're actually going to do is take this out, as well as that bar there, because it's kind of in like a weird spot. It's actually kind of nice, you would think, to put something there and let it maybe like dry or hang or whatever. So I might regret that somewhat, but I could do something different. And this cabinet is just in such a weird ass spot. Like, I don't know, like it's so high and it's just, I don't know. Like, I think we could do something different there. So in the very near future, that'll all probably be gone there, that bar and that cabinet thing there. Those coats will be gone. And the other thing that we should be getting today, I believe, is we just bought a little hamper thing, because obviously we normally have like clothes just chilling here that are dirty, and then they go down the line there. So there's going to be a little like hamper thing there, just so it's not as, you know, we're not throwing shit on the floor. Funny story about this little guy right here, which is a plunger and brush thing for a toilet. We got a 2-pack. We put one upstairs, it's fine. We put this one down here in this little second bathroom here, and it literally made the whole bathroom smell like a smoker, like just like a smoker of like 30 years in here. So it's kind of funny. I don't know if it's just like the rubber and stuff that they use, but I definitely need to like wash this off or something like that, because it really smells. It's brand new, but it just smells like some sort of weird rubber smell. And that mixed with just like that door being closed just made it smell really funny. It was kind of gross. I was like, why does it smell like somebody's smoking in here? That was funny. But anyway, that was kind of a interesting little thing there. But let's talk about this podcast studio to be. We are getting there, okay? We had some totes and stuff like that Amanda had from when her and her family lived here. Just some obviously like heirloom type things. We went through some of the stuff, got rid of a little bit of the stuff. Most of the stuff we just need to kind of like address and kind of put it in different places. Amanda went through her shoe box, her literal like that big of a box of shoes and everything like that. Took some of them away. We got to figure out where to put those things. You know, I tell her, and I'll tell you, the viewers. My personal opinion is you don't need to. Like I've said, minimalism, essentialism, and shit like that before. You don't need to not have things, but you do need to like not have too many things that you can't put somewhere, right? So just as an example with the shoe thing, it's like I understand like women, I don't understand it personally, but I understand women like, like have a lot of shoes, for instance, right? That's a generality. But if that's true, that's, whatever. But I would say that you got to have a place for them. You don't want them to get destroyed. You don't want to be like put in like a situation where like they're getting like, like, I don't know, like just the weight of like a box or something is on them, stuff like that. So the point is that, you can kind of, if you're creative about it, which I'll show you here in a second, you could probably create a place to put the things that you need to in a way that that you could still access them whenever you need to and they don't get destroyed. So just like some examples like, that we're trying to deal with here. All of this stuff is like my hockey gear and shit like that. It was categorized like pretty nicely when I was over my parents, like in these bins and stuff like that. We need to figure out a better place. I was kind of talking about that around the corner here. Something like that. There's flooring underneath there that we need to store because obviously we bought too much for the upstairs. Like we're do the kitchen at some point. But the point that I'm making here about like the organization and everything, we still need to go through all the shit over here, right? But once we go through all this stuff, maybe we downsize a little bit, we'll be able to maybe do things like, I don't know, like add like some shelf space here so we can categorize things like that. Like just things where, if you had like a shoe cubby, you could put it in a spot. Like maybe you could hang something here or whatever, and you could have like, I'm just using again the shoes as the example because it's the closest thing. But the point is that when you get to that inventory stage of this is what I need to like store, let's say, then you can create a way to actually keep the shit that you want to keep, but do it in a way that like makes sense and you're not like digging through like tons of boxes to get to like wherever you're at or whatever. So, I think you should still keep it as minimal as you can or as essentialism as you can. But, I'm not like throw everything away. That's a misrepresentation of my philosophy there. But yeah, that is what we've kind of been taking care of. I'm excited about this because this is coming along. And the other quick thing that I will note since we're in the podcast studio and we're talking about it is we're going to have a pretty sick setup here once we kind of get, everything taken care of here and it's actually just podcast stuff, because I've been looking at a couple setups just online that people have had. And I think we could do something really cool, especially if we get one or two more cameras. That's a maybe, but we could definitely do something pretty sick where we have like a longer table. For instance, like my first thought is to shoot this way. I'd have to do something about that window. But if we shot this way and we had a table coming out like this, then just to envision it, it'd kind of be like this in a sense, like you're shooting down the table, but the people aren't seated here and here. They're seated on either side. And then you'd have, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to pause and I'm going to put that table in the way and I'm just going to kind of explain it. Maybe it'll end up like this, maybe it won't, but let's try it. Okay, I'm extremely happy that I did that because this is probably going to be the winner as far as how we utilize this. So this is what we got here. And I'm going to be completely transparent here. I saw Max Tuning's new podcast and he has a setup very similar to this. And I was like, that is absolutely genius. Obviously, he has a different room, lots more money, spent a lot more money on the podcast studio than we will probably at this juncture. But the point is still the same. This right here is actually pretty genius and honestly is probably going to work pretty well in our case specifically. So I would definitely need, the trouble with this is I would probably definitely need 2 more cameras if I was going to do this like the right way per se, at least 2, maybe 3, I don't know, maybe like 4 more, I don't know. But regardless, this is, I would highly recommend emulating this setup here because I'm going to kind of explain the reasons that I think that this is going to work way better. I'm not saying use that table because that table is a little narrow. We'd have to do some more creative stuff, but the essential idea here is you have one shot going down the table that would effectively get, we'll use this, obviously the camera I'm using to kind of simulate this. You would get like both people, like, person on the left, person on the right, in the shot on this camera. Then you would have another camera over here, something like this, that got that person specifically. And you'd have another camera over here that got that person specifically, and you'd either switch it. That's another thing too. I don't want to go off on too much of a tangent, but this is the things that I constantly think about, even during house vlog videos, is that you'd either have 2 options. You'd have like a person like Jamie from the Joe Rogan Experience that like clicks like during the thing is like constantly switching like which camera is being shown, or number 2, you would just record basically 3 full-length videos on each camera and then do it all in post-production, like cut it up or whatever. Those are the ways that I've understood it to work. So you could do it either way. If you had if you had another person, they could just do it as you're doing it or whatever. But the point is that this setup, though, as opposed to the one that we had before, where it was like just like a side view, it's probably way better and way more like. Probably people are going to probably enjoy that a lot more. And if I can think of a better way to kind of set this up and everything like that, I'd be absolutely interested in trying that. So I think that this is probably going to be the way. I was concerned, truth be told, with this room and the way it was shaped of like putting the table over there. But if I can get rid of that this glare and everything from the window, if I could just put something over that, this might be the way to go here. We could even do something like on the backdrop and everything like that. But yeah, I'm super excited. Just like a little reorganization. This has really got me going here because I think that this is probably going to be the winner of the way that we do this, and it's probably going to be a lot nicer, especially if I do pony up the dough for 2 more cameras or whatever at some point. Now that's not right now. Obviously, we still have some work to do, but that is a cool idea. I'm happy that I visualized that, and yeah. So we're working on down here. That's pretty much the whole update of all that stuff. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get started on the hook thing up there, and if I think of anything or if I plan it out or whatever, you will obviously know. Okay, so we are working on the coat hooks, and I'm about halfway through the process. I want to say I'm just about to start like kind of screwing them in. What I want to do is just talk to you about my quick little process here. It's really not that complex, so let's chat. All right, so we have these coat hooks. What we have is we got an 8-pack of them, so they're just like these little drunk octopus wants to fight you ones. That's the joke online, but they should be fine. They should work great. They've got 2 little screw holes here. I'm not sure if these are actually any good, but they claim that they can hold 40 pounds each, and I don't think we're going to be necessarily holding 40 pounds, so probably going to be fine. So here's what I did. I mean, I had obviously some simple stuff, tape measure, pen, we're going to need a drill, stuff like that, but here's what I did. So I took one of these, I'll take this one, I guess, and came over here. This is what we're working with, and this is probably a little bit more annoying than maybe something you would have if you had a standard coat closet, because the people that put in the HVAC back in the Dizay were idiots and put it right here, so we've talked about that before, whatever. Anyway, it's kind of like a little weird now, right? So I kind of played with the spacing just to, kind of deal with that. But I looked online and I saw that like what's like the ideal spacing, because I've never hung coat hooks, but I've had like a coat hook rack thing that was already pre-built before. And I was just wondering like how far you're supposed to put them apart. And I heard like 4 to 6 inches is fine. So, with this being this big and we're not trying to fit like 20 in here, we're just trying to fit 8. I think this is going to work out perfectly, actually. I'm going to put 4 on the back wall here, and I already have these ones kind of laid out and like, everything put in here. So all I did was kind of measure from, a little bit off of this. I took that same measurement off of here, so we kind of try to make it like as symmetrical as possible, dealing with this stupid little thing over here. So those 4 are like, you could have made them wider if you didn't have that over there, but I just kind of shrunk everything in. So it'll all work out. It'll be easier to see once I have the actual coat hooks up there. But I took those measurements. I think I have, like I said, about 6 inches in between each one on the back row here. That'll be great. On the sides here, I did a little bit more creative spacing as well. I don't know exactly. I think it's actually a little bit more than 6 here, but we're only putting 2 over here, so I don't think it's gonna matter. You're not really gonna be able to tell without like literally getting a tape measure and taking it out. So I think it's gonna look great. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So that'll be perfect. Did that, and then that was like the spacing and everything like that. And then all I did to get like these things here, and like I was wondering where should you put it? Should you put it up here? Should you put it down here? So I saw one person, and I'm just gonna go with this. They put it so it's just flat, like it's level with the like the wood in this case. So all I did was I actually used like the little, like you can use anything flat, like a piece of wood or whatever. I sat the wood right underneath there. I brought this thing down to where it was, like right level with the wood. And then I just had a piece of tape on here real quick. I just boom. And then I just took the wood thing away because I'm operating by myself with only 2 hands. And then I draw the little circles in there, and that's what you get. So I'm gonna erase all these little bottom marks once I'm done making these little circle marks here. And then I'm gonna do my absolute best to get these things to all look good and be, like obviously straight and then flush with this bottom part here, so they just sit there, kind of like like that, I guess, or whatever. So it should look good and everything. The only thing that I, sometimes struggle with is should I kind of like pre-drill the hole a little bit, because I don't know if you're supposed to kind of do that with like screws or whatever, and like into this, like this is like, wood thing here. I don't know. It doesn't really matter as long as the screw ends up going in. I think you should be fine. It's just kind of a pain in the ass to like, hold it and get a screw in. But I'm gonna continue this, and honestly, we should be done in hopefully about 10 minutes. So I will let you know what happens. All right, so it took a little bit more than 10 minutes, but not too much longer. I was just trying to be precise on the leveling and everything like that. But it's looking great. Let's take a peek. Look at that. So, still ugly, obviously, but that does the job. Looks pretty good. Looks relatively decent, I would say. They're probably not all like precise, but they're gonna get the job done. It's gonna be fine. That's a beautiful little coat closet that actually has, functional use case for coats now. So I'm happy about that. Made one little error. Got a little patch thing there to do. Very tiny, not a big deal. That's why we paint the walls white, so we don't even need to paint when we patch. We just put a little bit of patch on there, and it's perfect. You'll never see it. It's grand. But anyway, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna patch that up real quick, and then I'm gonna bring those coats up, and maybe we'll talk about what I'm gonna do downstairs with the piece down there in the laundry room that I was talking about, where I'm gonna need to kind of take that whole thing down and play around with that. So we got some momentum here. Let's keep going. Actually, one more clip of this closet, just because I've kind of filled it up here. So put some of my coats there on the right side, Amanda's stuff over here. I did find one coat of Amanda's that doesn't have any way to hook something, so that's kind of a little bit of a flaw in the design, but I don't really care that much. We'll deal with that some other way. But the other thing is just, as another update here, got to deal with up there. Not sure exactly what we're going to put there. I like having these things up here because like we utilize, we use these things up here a lot. But I'm not really in love with the way that this is going right now. So I might need to kind of like get a little bit more creative with the way that we kind of store these things if they stay in here. But all in all, this is definitely a step in the right direction. And it's just a coat closet, but it's a pretty cool one. So let's keep going. Back in the laundry room here, just a preliminary update. We're gonna take this down, and it's actually kind of funny because I had one of the Nest Awares like screwed in here, but now I'm gonna have to figure out a different place for that. So I took that down. We are going to, I think most of the stuff is just drilled in here, just with some pretty old, obviously they're just flat head screws there. So it should be pretty easy just to pull off of here. I'm gonna take out the bar there, and then we'll remove this guy. And I'm willing to bet a lot of money. You go up a little, yeah. I'm willing to bet it's gonna be that yucky yellow color, and not white behind this. But that's okay. Like I said, I don't really see a reason, and it's just such a weird spot. So we're gonna do something different. It's gonna be cool. Let's get it done, and maybe I can sell this thing. That would be so great if somebody wants to buy this thing. So just more little things to cross off the list here. Let's get it done. Okay, so update on that. Pretty excited. It's down. It's all yellow, but that's not a big deal. We'll deal with that. We have paint, and we're not sure what we're gonna do in here anyway, so that's fine. It was like just 3 pieces. There was a little board over there, like old-fashioned, like long, flat screws and all that sort of stuff. This was like nailed into the board up there. You can kind of see where it was. And then we had that piece, that rod piece. It was kind of just like screwed in, kind of just pulled that off. That was fine. Then we had our big thing here that was just screwed into the wall through the back. It was definitely painted on because like the bottom was kind of sticking. Got it off. Oh, I didn't see that beautiful little thing there. There's a little hole there. That's interesting. Doesn't really matter. I'm not super concerned about that, but I just saw that. That's interesting. Funny thing I want to mention here, maybe a little tip for you. So I had this Nest Aware thing on here, and I couldn't really get all 4 screws on here, like back when I did this probably like a month or 2 ago. And I just remembered that I put these screws in here to save them for when I took this off and inevitably moved this thing. So that is awesome. Just a trick for you if you ever need to store some screws. Just screw them in under whatever the hell you were screwing in before. But yeah, so that's cool. Done with that. Gonna try to list that, hopefully sell it. I don't know what we're gonna do with that wall yet, but I'm happy because, I don't know, just getting things done. So we're gonna deal with that. Our laundry basket thingy is coming probably pretty soon. That'll be cool. And yeah, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet next. I might go in here and kind of play around with some of that stuff we were talking about earlier, like this whole storage thing. But as always, whatever I do, you will know. All right, we're back with another update here because we got something and we did some more things. So here's the deal. This is what we saw before. I don't think I said this in the last clip because I think I did this afterward. I just put the Nest Aware. I think I'm blanking on what Nest Protect. Did I call it Nest Aware before? I don't know. But Nest Aware is a service. That's a Protect. So anyway, it's the smoke alarms, you know, carbon monoxide and everything like that. It's just chilling there. It was on that thing, but I moved it there. I want to put it on the ceiling. Ideally, you want to put the things on the ceiling, but I don't really care for now. It's just temporary. It'll be fine there. It's not a big deal. But yeah, so it's there. We're cool on that. And then we got this guy. We got this guy right here. Now I will leave a link for this in the description because honestly, if you're looking for like a laundry hamper, I'm just extremely impressed with the build quality of this thing, just straight off the bat. It's like bamboo and like everything is tight. Like if that makes sense. Like there was a couple pieces. There's a piece that goes on the bottom. This thing's all like one piece that wraps around here, and then the what's it called here? Like the design. I'm not gonna say it's like, you know, I don't know how much it was. It was probably like between $25 and $50. Like, you know, it's 30 or something. I would assume. I can't remember off the top of my head. But the thing itself, it's not like a world-class like little bin or anything like that, but everything, it's like when they built it, they were like, these materials are like average, maybe slightly above average, but we're gonna make sure that like the way you put it together is not cheap as fuck. So I'm just really happy with the way that it's built together. Everything is tight. Like when you put this bag in here, it's like I can't really explain it. It's just everything, it was very easy to put together. And everything's cool. It's sturdy. It doesn't like fall over or anything like that. So our idea here, like I was saying, was just to have something like that. So 1 and 2, bang bang, and really happy with the way this is coming together.